Welcome to PrepsNet Coach Speak with Chelsea Hornets head soccer coach Lee Miller. Here's your host, Aubrey Johnson.
Welcome back, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I tell you what, the playoffs have been very good to you so far, haven't they?
So far, so good. Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about them. So back on April 25th, you played Helena and got a nice win out of that game, 4-0. You beat the Huskies. Take us through the game.
Yeah, so we went over there. It was pouring down rain before the game started.
Wow.
But they got turf and it's a narrow field, so we were a little concerned about that. And they're tough. I mean, Helena's always tough. But luckily for us, right about the time warm-up started, the rain stopped.
Yeah.
And so it ended up being a really nice evening. And then we just came out and played really, really well. Max Weaver had a first half hat trick. And then Jacob Cano stuck another goal in, and so we were up 4-0 at the half.
Right.
And Helena, of course, was not happy because they expected to have a chance in the game, and they came out in the second half and played us a lot tougher.
Yeah.
Maybe we got a little conservative, but we kind of just sat on it, and it ended up 4-0 final.
Gotcha. Good deal. So then 4 days later, you followed that up with a very close win against Briarwood. This was a double overtime game, Coach. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so we knew this was coming. If we could get in, we thought in our area we would probably meet whoever the other team was in the second round.
Right.
And remember, if we go back in time, we got beat 6-2 by Briarwood at their place.
Yes.
Then here was a really great game. We were up 1-0, and then they ended up beating us 2-1. So They won the area, and of course we talked about how we narrowly got ourselves back into the playoff race and into the playoffs as the 2 seed. So now we got to go back and play at Briarwood. So we changed our formation. We decided that they exposed us the previous time to what we normally would do, and so we tried something different. And the first half was really a big battle, an exciting first half for a 0-0 scoreline.
Yeah. For sure.
So then you go into the second half, and we're saying, boy, it's just going to be one of like a big moment in the game is going to make the difference. And so Briarwood got one. They had a big moment. They scored a goal. I don't remember how much time was left, but a good bit of time was still left. But then a little while later, I think about 16 minutes left, they scored a second goal.
Oh no!
So now we're down 2-0, and you think, man, it's really going to be hard to come back from this.
Right.
So with about, I think it was 11 minutes left. We play a through ball. Parker Dean is running onto it. Their keeper's coming. And Parker, he's long and lanky, and I think he surprised the keeper. He reaches out and he pokes the ball past the keeper to try to run around him, and the keeper wipes him out. So it's a clear penalty. It's in the box.
Yeah.
So Luke Miller comes and takes the penalty, and he scores it. He takes responsibility for that. So now it's 2-1. We got a chance.
Yeah.
So we're battling, trying to create that one magic moment that can get us a draw and get it to overtime. And with 3 minutes left, Marcus Garcia on the left wing comes into the box, cuts in on their defender. The defender actually takes the ball from him. But then Marcus takes the ball right back, and as the guy tries to clear the ball, Marcus pokes the ball away, and he clears Marcus basically.
Oh, wow.
So he takes him down in the box.
Yeah.
Second penalty.
Another penalty.
Luke Miller takes it again.
Oh yeah.
Puts it in. So now it's an excitement because we've gotten back in it.
Right.
So the final 3 minutes are kind of hectic, and nobody scores. So we go to overtime.
Goodness.
And something I forgot to mention, they had a man sent off in that second foul. It was his second yellow card. So he gets sent off, so they're down a man.
Oh, wow.
But we helped him out by returning the favor in the first overtime. Max Weaver fouls one of their kids, gets his second yellow. So it's 10-10, 10 versus 10. Yeah. For the most of the first overtime and all the second overtime. Those go by, nobody scores. So we go to penalties, and we have this pre-planned, and this is probably unusual. Most teams don't do this, but Andrew Perkey is our 11th grade goalkeeper, and he played the entire game. But Madden Brown is a freshman goalkeeper. He's our backup, but he's played a lot this year, and we feel like he's a better penalty saver. So we put him into the penalty shootout. He had not played at all. So we had him warming up during overtime just in case we needed him, and of course we needed him. So he goes out there, and we shoot first, and we score Harper Jones scores his first penalty, and then they come up and Madden makes a save on their first shot.
Right.
So we're up 1-0. Then I believe the second taker, Max is usually our first taker, but he couldn't participate because he was ejected.
Right.
So I think Cooper Bomball may have been next, and so Cooper goes in, he scores his penalty, and then Briarwood comes up, one of their best players, and he hits the post.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's 2-0, and so then Parker Dean scores, so we're up 3-0, and then they have a guy score to make it 3-1. So at that point, with one taker left for them, and we're up by enough that if we score the next one, we go up by 3. They don't have enough takers to come back. So so Jacob Kano was the fourth taker for us, and he buried it in the bottom left corner, and we celebrated like we won something huge, which we did.
Absolutely.
And so we got by Briarwood. It's very difficult for them because they have a really good team.
Yeah.
And but we survived yet again.
Celebrate
once
survival.
Again.
For sure.
Once again, here we go. So so then we move on to the quarterfinals, which is the first time since 2011 that. We had been to we went to the quarterfinals last year. So we go to the quarterfinals. We had not gotten past the quarterfinals since 2011.
Right.
So as it turned out, we hosted.
Yeah.
And we had every intention of playing right here on the grass field.
Yeah, that was Calera, right?
Calera, yeah. So that was Saturday night, this past Saturday. And we spent the whole day out here, pushing water out of puddles because it had rained the night before.
Right.
Got the field in play in order. We're like, we're going to play on the grass. Everything's going to be great. Watching the radar, thinking, man, I think the big rain's going to miss us. We're going to get just this little small rain and it'll be fine. And instead, the big line caught us. And I mean, it was a torrential rain. It took 15 minutes to totally erase all the work that we did all day. Right. So we had, for the first time in over 2 years, we had to move to the turf and play on the turf.
Okay. So every team at this level or at that point is really good.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the Calera Eagles. What were they like?
So Calera, they've got a really good midfielder who distributes the ball well. He's a great ball winner.
Right.
And then they have this left wing, and we saw him on film, and he's exceptionally good on the ball.
Yeah.
Couldn't really tell from the film that he was as fast as he turned out to be. When we saw him in person, we're like, that guy really is fast.
Right.
We didn't think he was particularly fast.
Yeah.
But we were wrong. He was. And he created a big problem for us. So Calera tries to kind of lure you in and then hit you on the counter attack over the top, and they did that. And really, honestly, we were fortunate they didn't score early. They had a couple of good chances that they should have scored, but we punched one in fairly early, so we had the 1-0 lead.
Yeah.
I think it was 1-0 still at halftime, and then in the second half, about midway through the second half, the ball went out wide, and Luke had it, and Luke sends the service in, and their guy tries to clear it. He kind of half clears it. It rolls up his leg and bounces up in the air. And Cooper Bumbaugh, who's the right wing, Cooper comes in and just one times it with the outside of his foot and hits a little curler. And really he mishit it, but he hits it on frame, and the keeper dives and just misses it. It goes just inside the post.
Goodness.
So, so now we're up 2-0, feeling pretty comfortable with that. And I can't even remember the other goal. We scored, I know what it was. Max was getting tired, so I put Campbell Jenkins in. Yeah. Told him, hey, just press their back line, make it difficult, because I'm thinking they're going to try to just serve it up to the star up front. And so he pressed, and their goalkeeper, they passed it to their goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper controlled it, but then he slipped.
Oh, no.
And Campbell was right there, and he just poked it in, so kind of got a gift of a goal there.
Yeah.
And at that point, we knew, there was no coming back for Calera. And so 3-0 win, and we know we're off to Huntsville now. And
Final Four.
Yeah, so we're set to play in the state semifinals at the Final Four in Huntsville.
Right. Fantastic. So your first opponent's going to be Spanish Fort.
Spanish Fort.
Do you know anything about the Toros?
Yeah, I didn't know much other than scores. So, but we've seen some film now, and they got a kid in the middle who's a central midfielder, really shifty, great on the ball, left-footed kid. Feel like their wingers are good, their strikers good. They lost the first 2 games of the season this year and haven't lost. They've only lost once since. Okay. They got a few draws in there, but they got great results against really good teams. At this stage, you expect that. Nobody goes to the Final Four that's this poor.
Right.
Everybody there is
Nobody's
really, really
average
good.
anymore.
Right. Yeah. These are all top teams. So,
Sure.
So we know we got our hands full with Spanish
Okay.
Fort, and we're prepared to go challenge.
Yeah. So just for fun, let's talk about who are the other two teams.
So Southside Gadsden is playing Gardendale.
Okay.
And we did not play Southside this year. I know a little bit about them. They got a striker that signed with UAB that's about 6'3", 6'4",
Right.
can fly, like runs like a gazelle and scores boatloads of goals. I know a couple other players on their team. They're really good. So I mean, there's no doubt they got quality. And then Gardendale, of course, we played earlier in the year. We beat them 4-2, but they're very good. I mean, they knocked Mountain Brook out along the way.
Yep.
And they've had a great season. So just because we beat them earlier doesn't mean anything, because we lost twice to Briarwood and we're able to come out of that. So we don't want to take anybody for granted. So we're going to try to fight our way to the final. And if we can win it tomorrow at 3 o'clock in Huntsville, then we'll go to 11:30 on Saturday will be the championship.
That's it. Okay.
So that's the plan.
Fantastic. Well, tell us about the team. I know probably the whole team is clicking along right now. Is there any one or two or three players you would single out?
Well, yeah, Cooper Bomball scored two goals in that quarterfinal game against Calera, and so I mean he's obviously having a great year.
Yes, he is.
And of course against Helena, Max Weaver had a hat trick, so those guys are playing well. But Luke Miller hit the two big penalties. Jacob Kano hit the game-winning penalty against Briarwood. Jacob set a school record for tackles in a season this year.
Right.
Andrew's his brother. Daniel Teixeira has had a great year. He's a sophomore, and he's an impact player in the midfield for us.
Yes.
And then our back line has stood up well. So I mean, it's just hard to and that's not to even mention that Andrew Perkey against Calera absolutely put on a goalkeeping clinic. A couple of those really great opportunities that Calera had. I mean, you would think it's definitely a goal, but Andrew made some fantastic saves.
That's nice.
And so I mean, right now, you hate to jinx yourself, but everybody's playing really well.
That's good.
So
that's fantastic.
So we're gonna, we got one more practice today, and then we'll drive up tomorrow
and
head
up to Huntsville
and put it all on the line.
All right. Well, Coach, that's our show. But I want to say, I'm hoping in the next week or two, whenever we have our next show, there'll be a blue map sitting right here in between us.
Well,
Wouldn't that be something?
I don't know if you can see it on this camera, but behind us back there, we've talked about this. There's a gap in that scoreboard. The girls have won 2 state championships.
That's
right above it is a gap. And I've told our guys, we left that gap on purpose. That's your gap. But we got to win one to actually put
you don't want any gaps.
Right. No, we want to put boys state championship right up there. So that's what we're going to try to do. And, hopefully we can pull it off.
Well, best of luck to you guys. And thank you for watching again. In the next week or two, we'll have our final show. We'll have to wait and see what happens. It's going to be interesting. But thank you for watching. Join us again next time for another Chelsea version of Coach Speak.